What we've got at the moment is an aristocracy of wealth in this country. It's also true of the United States as well. So what I would do, and I wouldn't be opposed to, by the way, I wouldn't be opposed to 100% inheritance tax.
A 100% inheritance tax. It's like the left's wet dream went global, folks. It's a tax so greedy that it makes Scrooge McDuck look like a soup kitchen volunteer. Imagine, you're out there, you're grinding, you're sweating, you're crying into your coffee at 3 o'clock in the morning because you're trying to build something. A business, a legacy, maybe just a really nice sandwich empire. You're pouring your heart, your soul into it. You're ducking and weaving as they throw government regulations at you in binders so thick, they make the Bible look like a pamphlet. They're throwing those regulations at you like dodgeballs in a sadistic gym class.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
What?
Guys, as we get started here, please thumb up the video. Do it for the algorithm. Help a brother out. It costs you absolutely nothing. Leave me a comment with your thoughts on the matter and subscribe if you're new to the channel and like the content. But by a ton of luck and immense amount of grit, by God, your company goes public. You, my friend, are a big, fat success. And as you uncork the celebratory champagne bottle outside the pub and toast with your beloved children, from above, some muppet drops a piano on your head. Splat! The government swoops in like a vulture in a bad suit and says, "Oh my goodness, you're dead sweet. We're gonna take all of it. Not a penny for your kids. Not a dime for your dog. Nothing." They want every last cent to fund what? A diversity seminar for people who think that Western values are merely a hurdle to overcome on the road to utopia. This is the left, folks. They're coming at you like a crazy vegan at a barbecue.
Good news, everyone! You don't have to eat meat. I made enough gazpacho for all.
Go back to Russia!
Preaching about fairness while they're picking your pockets and all of your bones clean. You're out there, you're busting your hump, inventing the next big thing. Maybe it's a self-cleaning diaper. I could use one of those. Or a flying car that actually doesn't crash into your neighbor's shed. And imagine you beat the odds, you make it, and then you say, you know what? I want to buy a jet ski and a Mercedes. And the government, who know better than you, says, "How can you be so greedy, you money-grubbing Shylock? You need to give us that cash. Because, you know, some packages rolled into town with a worldview that says women belong in a beekeeper suit. But goats, they're for candlelight dinners. He's the one who needs a new Mercedes." Too much, you think? Okay, then. Okay, a new PlayStation and free rent. Fair, after all, is fair. Yeah, real noble, comrades. Let's fund the guy's council flat while he's turning your daughter's school into a Dateline special hosted by a very concerned Lester Holt. And don't get me started on the taxes that you, my friends, are already paying. Half your paycheck's gone before you can buy even a decent pair of socks. 70% of mine have at least one hole, and the other 30% are just dreams I had in 2019. You're out here living like a medieval peasant, rationing your Netflix subscription, while the state's like, "We need more money to prosecute some lady named Lucy for tweeting that maybe, just maybe, the Southport murderer slashing little girls' throats isn't a great contribution to the United Kingdom's culture." "Oh, Lucy, you're mad about the triple murder of a tiny ballerina by one of our esteemed guests? You've got something critical to say about multiculturalism that we foisted on you? Ha! Too bad. That's hate speech, you bigot. You're anti-immigrant murderers. Aren't you, Lucy? You hate those people. 3 years in the clink. Meanwhile, the grooming gangs are getting a government-sponsored Airbnb and a pat on the back for enriching the community, which is why, of course, suddenly every store in the country is locking up their inventory, and if the shopkeeper dares refer to the shoplifters as scum and hurts their wee little feelings, the police pay him a visit. Why would you even bother working? Why get out of bed? Honestly, I'd rather sit on my couch eating discount ramen, watching reruns of Storage Wars, than build a company knowing it's all going to get sucked into the black hole of the state. You want to tax my inheritance at 100%? Fine, I'll show you. I'll start a new business called Doing Nothing. Zero innovation, zero new jobs, just me and my cat living off of expired yogurt. Because you know, what is the point? You're not building for your kids, you're building for some bureaucrat's pet project to teach interpretive dance to people who hate you. Sure, you might earn all that money through your wit, your blood, sweat, and tears, but it's greedy for you to want to keep what you've earned, but not greedy for them to want to take it from you. In fact, it's considered virtuous. Again, they're superior and know the best way to redistribute your money, your economic crystallized energy and contribution to society. And if that means funding free housing and food for Pakistani Muslims who arrive with views of society and women that make the Taliban look like feminists, systematically turning British girls into true crime podcasts, just always remember that's happening because the leftist elites know what is best for England and the rest of the planet.
I wouldn't be opposed to 100% inheritance tax.
You want to tax my inheritance at 100%? After already taking more than half my salary to pay for the prosecutions of British people who dare to point out that Pakistani grooming gangs aren't exactly boosting the tourism board's ratings? Well, my incentive changes from working my ass off to sitting on my couch watching Seinfeld reruns. Why would I go to the trouble? Why would I spend 16 hours a day on a startup that creates jobs and innovative new products that better everyone's life when all that will just be sucked into the black hole of the state? To pay, to prosecute, and lock up Lucy Connolly for a tweet where she had the temerity to be angry about the Southport murderer who slashed the necks of 3 little ballerina girls. These Soviet Union Politburo wannabes have no clue of the incentives that drive people, society, and for some creators, that means leaving a better life for their progeny. Maybe it's just merely for the love of the child, and maybe it's the selfish evolutionary principle of biological fitness and wanting to make it more likely that your genes propagate forward into the future. Either way, it's another needless intervention into the free market. Greedy to want to keep what I've earned, but not greedy to take everything from me. That's the logic of a mugger with a PhD in sociology. This is why they want a global government, people. They're like, oh, you thought that you could escape to Dubai, Singapore, or Florida? Nah, we're gonna make the whole planet one big DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, where you wait in line for 6 hours to get permission to keep 10% of your paycheck. It's merely communism with better branding. Same old Politburo, but now they've got Instagram and a podcast with which to propagandize you. Oh, sure. They'll live like kings, sipping their $20 pumpkin spice lattes in their gated communities, protected from the dregs of society. And by that, I mean you, arguing over how to redistribute your life savings as they send armed police to evict your 3 young children out of the family house you bought last year before that piano turned you into a tragic Looney Tunes episode. Because, your children have far less rights to it than those in need of housing just off the boats. Don't worry, though, because while your inheritance pays for the utopia of multiculturalism brought by Pakistani rapists, your kids will still have the opportunity to busk outside their orphanage to earn some extra change. On a good day, they might be able to buy a Happy Meal.